Welcome to the Art of Dress. Today I'm happy to share with you Ochre Air coloring and how to build a personal color wheel starting with the prime color of Ochre Air. So let me show you what it's all about and how this works. Thank you for coming and thank you for subscribing. This is Melodie Monrose, and she is from Martinique, and she is a beautiful example of Ochre Air coloring. So let me explain to you what that means to be Ochre Air coloring. We have to go back to the color wheel, and this is the element color wheel. The colors are divided into fire, air, water, and earth, as you see. And ochre is one of the three air colors. It is the middle color. So in the bottom left, right in the middle, you see Ochre Air. And like its companions, olive and celadon, these three colors are all warm and muted and light. Now, in order to get the colors, we start with this as a prime color because every person has one of these colors on the wheel as their prime color. And this is Melodie's. And this color will show you through its relationships with other colors what her color wheel looks like, her personal color wheel. So one thing you can see easily on this color, on this wheel, is that every color is directly opposite another color. And that's called a complementary relationship. When two colors are in a complementary relationship, you normally wear both of them. But you don't necessarily wear the same version. And that's because if you look at Melodie's colors, her colors are warm, but they are also light and muted. And if you go across, you can get a cool color, but it's now intense and muted. And so this is what we have to look at. What are the versions of these colors that someone like Melodie would wear? So what I've done on the next wheel is I first of all put all the complementary colors on the outside of the color. So when you look at Melodie's Ochre Air, you see her complementary plum, not the plum that you see across the wheel. It's still plum, it's just her plum. It's light, it's muted, and it is cool. Because by wearing a complementary color, by definition, you're going to be combining warm and cool colors. So the second thing about this wheel is that it has planetary symbols around the outside. So looking at Melodie's symbol there, you see that it is Venus. So what we need to find is the other color that is Venus. And I already did it for you. Okay, here it is. So one color is always on the bottom, all the warm colors, and one planet on the bottom, and the second planet, in other words, the same planet with the second color is on the top. So here are the two Venuses. The first one is the ochre green, and the second one is violet blue. And she is going to wear ochre green plus plum, and she's also going to wear her version of violet blue. It will be light because her element colors are all light, but it will be muted, not clear. And then she's also going to wear her version of yellow. So let me show you what this looks like on Melodie. So here we start with Melodie in an ochre green trench coat, and you can start to see how the colors affect her, because what happens to her skin, it doesn't become warmer, it definitely doesn't become sallow, it doesn't change anything, it just shows in its beauty and delicacy and nuance and all kinds of illumination to her skin by wearing her colors. And here she is in plum, same thing happens, her skin lights up. Her third color that we talked about is her yellow. And even though she's kind of covering her cheeks, you can still see around her mouth and on her forehead how her skin is lighting up from this beautiful muted light yellow. So this, I would call this Yellow Air. It's an air color, even though it is the air version of yellow. And then the air version of violet blue is this blue. And you can see once again, her skin is so luminous, just beautiful. So those are her first 4 colors. And the reason I will call them element colors, some are cool and some are warm, but they are all light and they are all muted. Now, in addition to wearing light colors, Melodie also wears some intense colors, some strong colors. So how does this happen? So these are what I'm calling alternate colors. Alternate in the sense of no longer light, but now intense. And so start from her prime color, which is the ochre green, and move 1 color to the counterclockwise. So in that case, down here, it's 1 color to the right. And what you see is olive green. So olive green is a light color. So she's going to wear the intense version of that, which will, if you go across the wheel, you're going to see grape, and you'll also see intense olive green. So those are going to be her colors. And here they are. First, intense olive, and you can see just as beautiful as her element colors, just gorgeous for her. Still very, very delicate. And then also purple, very lovely for her. And now she has 1 more color, and this is what I like to call the wild card, because this is a color that has no relationship whatsoever to the rest of her colors, and that is her style color. So where does that come from? So every style actually has a connection to a color. And that's what I'm showing you here, is all of the prime colors of humanity, but now the style symbols are around the outside. And Melodie is elaborate romantic, so we already know, you can look for it here. Orange red is the symbol for elaborate romantic. It looks like an S with the large top. So elaborate romantic wears red fire, and that's what this looks like on Melodie. Just beautiful. So now she has her 7 colors, and as you know, 7 colors is a rainbow. So what she has is a personal rainbow, and that's what you see here. Melodie's personal rainbow, starting on the 3 o'clock with ochre. She has her ochre, her plum, her yellow, which looks like a green, but it's a yellow, muted, light yellow, and then her blue, also muted and light. And then keeping going this direction, you have her style color, no connection at all to the rest of her color wheel, and then her 2 alternate colors, her intense green, olive green, and her intense purple. Now everyone wears not only colors but neutrals, so let me show you where neutrals come from. Every element of color has a signature kind of neutral, and that's what this wheel is showing you. So you have on the outside all of the prime colors that you're already used to seeing, and this time I put the neutrals on the inside, and the reason for that is because it's very hard to see color when it's such a tiny swatch. So in order to give you a bit more real estate, you could say, I put the neutrals on the inside. And now you can see very clearly that, at least you can see that the blacks are a signature neutral for the fire colors. The air colors wear beiges, the watercolors wear whites, and the earth colors all wear navies as their signature, as their prime neutral, you could call it. But Melodie is going to wear more than just beige. She's like everyone else, she has 3 neutrals. So beige is her first one, right in the middle, and across the wheel, she wears medium navy as well. And then that's right in the middle of the navies. And then she also wears medium black or soft black. So let me show you Melodie wearing her 3 neutrals. So the prime neutral is actually just so stunning. All the colors are stunning. All the colors are beautiful, but it's a little breathtaking to see the prime color and the prime neutral. So here you have the Melodie's prime neutral of beige. So it's glorious, really. And then here she is in navy, that's across the wheel. So she wears the medium navy, and you can see even with the distraction of the white, which she does not wear high contrast like this. But even with that, it still overcomes this distraction to light up her face. It's so beautiful. And then lastly, what she looks like in soft black or off black, and here you can see still just amazing for her. So now we can show the entire color wheel, and that's what it looks like right there. All of her colors, as I explained, her 7 colors, and then her 3 neutrals. So normally I would like to put the prime neutral right next to the colors, but in this case that would mean putting black and navy right next to each other, which it's already hard to see them when there are small amounts of color like this. So this time what I did is I put navy on the inside, and then the beige, and then the black on the outside. So there you have the personal color wheel for Ochre Air. Elaborate Romantic gives the style color of Red Fire. Now, there's one more aspect of color that I would like to mention, and that is use of color. So everyone's style already gives you a use of color, and for Melodie as an Elaborate Romantic, her use of color as an Elaborate Romantic is monochromatic, and you'll see her wearing lots of monochromatic outfits, and they look amazing. But her coloring also gives her an alternative to this, and that is to the Air use of color, which is to combine 3 different colors and combine them in one of 2 ways. Either a neutral, one of your neutrals, plus 2 related colors, so 2 versions of green, or maybe a green and a blue that are very close to each other, because Air colors are looking for the least amount of contrast, honestly. And then the second way of using 3 colors is to use 3 colors that are, again, next to each other on the color wheel, so proximate, close to each other. So let me show you an example of this. With Gigi Hadid, I showed you the neutral plus 2 colors. Now let me show you 3 similar colors, or 3 connected colors, connected by way of close on the color wheel. So what we have here is Melodie is wearing her blue, and that is a muted and light violet blue. So that's one of her element colors. And she's wearing different versions of that, like they just blend. She's wearing lighter, a little bit darker, and then she's combining that with a color that's right next to blue on the color wheel, which is green. And so she's also, really this is like an aqua, and it's a tending into green, but it's in between aqua and mint, I would say. And then she's also wearing a kind of a blue jacket. And so what she has here is 3 versions, or 2 versions of blue really, and then a green that's right next to it. So blue and green together, but 2 versions of blue and 1 version of kind of a bluey green. So this is another way for Air colors to use colors in combinations. So thank you so much for sharing this with me today, and thank you, Melodie, because colors are so stunning. And I look forward to our next one, which will be the 3rd color of Air, which will be Celadon. So that will be next week. And in the meantime, thank you again for subscribing and for coming. And until I see you again, please try to stay safe.